Hey West Texas, I'm Burt Sempier and welcome into episode 25 of our VCast series, Chat with the Chief, featuring San Angelo Police Chief Travis Griffith. Chief, thank you so much for coming in again and happy October.
Yeah, isn't that crazy? It's October. Thanks so much for having me, man.
Of course, it doesn't really feel like October too much, maybe in the mornings a little bit, but it's still quite warm out.
Yeah, the one thing that October brings is the fall and baseball. Right. So baseball actually starts getting pretty interesting right about now.
Absolutely, and it certainly is in the Bronx. Game 3 tonight against Boston.
It is. And I want to say that they lost won one. Is that right?
Yes, they lost game 1, won game 2 last night, and today we'll see who moves on to the ALDS.
Boston is a tough cookie, so we'll see.
Absolutely. Hey, great rivalry too.
Yeah, it is.
Red Sox.
It is.
All right, let's get started here, Chief. So yesterday, really a frightening moment, really some tense moments playing out at a senior living facility here in San Angelo, where a 69-year-old man had set up an ambush for a woman almost 50, and she was unfortunately shot several times. Obviously, officers rushed to the scene. SWAT team gets called in. Negotiations with this gentleman last hours, and unfortunately, at the end of the day, he died by a self-inflicted gunshot wound. What is the latest you could tell us on the investigation? Maybe you know something about the woman's health. We know she was taken to Shannon. Where does SAPD stand right now in looking at all of this?
Yeah, well, I mean, first and foremost, for the victim, we'll be praying for the victim. She is stable and doing better from everything I've been told, but to just be praying there's a lot that goes into that, psychologically and physically and spiritually. I mean, there's just so much that happens there. For the family of the suspect, I mean, gosh, we sometimes, I don't want to say it falls short, but somebody lost somebody they cared about. So I mean, that's something. But we are in the business of keeping people accountable for their actions. We are dictating a lot of our actions in those situations based off of someone else's, a suspect's actions. When you're leaving your home and going out and trying to murder somebody, we're going to respond that way. And I think due to some incredible police work from both the San Angelo Police Department and the tactical team from the Sheriff's Office that we're working right alongside with them, we were able to use some incredible tactics that kept him from being able to do anything else to anybody else. And that in itself is what we do. And that good training pushed that containment all the way back to the point where we wanted him to come out peacefully, right? We wanted him to be able to get help and be held to account to what he did. But because he didn't feel like there's no other option, because I can't keep hurting anybody else, or I'm not going to surrender and this is my choice, they make those decisions. And again, I feel that for the family, and I hate that for them. But ultimately, we kept the community safe, and we kept our officers safe, because we really believe from everything we were watching that he was intent on trying to bait us into an encounter with him.
When you negotiate for 2 hours with someone, come out, be peaceful. What's ever going through your mind will help you try and work things out with you.
Absolutely.
When a situation ends the way it does, is that maybe heartbroken is too strong of a word, but what kind of emotions do you feel that, unfortunately this person just would not surrender to us?
Sure. I can tell you, I used to be a hostage negotiator, and I can relate to those guys that are out there talking to somebody for that long. It's usually one person. We don't bounce that around, so it's going to be one person that's trying to talk them out. That's a tough spot, man, because your whole focus is on trying to get this person to see that there's value in their life and value in moving forward and thinking about their loved ones. And it's a tough spot to be, because you're not seeing everything else. That's why we have different layers that go into it. And as the incident commander is able to watch that he's not putting his gun down, that he's putting himself in position to try to ambush the police, that everything that he's doing is really the focus. You can say a lot of things, but what you're doing is going to be the key there. And so we encourage our guys that go through that when you go through that, it's tough. It's hard, because you do everything. You put your whole heart and soul into trying to get somebody to surrender, and when it doesn't work, it is a hard thing to go through. And so we have those conversations. We talk in debriefs afterwards, and we look at ways that we can be better. What can we do in any facet of that, of a large incident like that? That way we can improve. Because if we didn't do that, then the 3 incidents before that, we wouldn't have been able to do as good as we did this time. So it's always about trying to be better than we were the day before.
I guess the line's sort of always room for improvement, no matter what it is.
100%. Yeah.
Let's switch gears now.
Sure.
Another serious topic. TxDOT says that the month of October is the deadliest month of the year here in Texas for pedestrians. Sure. Last October, nearly 90 pedestrians were killed. As the sun starts to set earlier and darkness creeps in, and even looking ahead to Halloween and people and families being out, any tips for pedestrians and drivers when it comes to making sure everyone stays safe on the road and the crosswalk, etc.?
For sure. San Angelo is a unique town that we don't have a whole lot of foot traffic, especially in the normal areas that in town. If you're downtown or something like that, you kind of think about it, maybe close to a park. Just being more mindful that there's going to be more people out walking as the heat is starting to die down. More people want to get out in the cooler evenings and walk around, and it's also time change will happen, and so you start to see this it being darker faster, and then you add in the advent of more people for Halloween and just going out and riding bikes and doing things. Put that in your mind as a forethought, right? To hey, I'm going to remind myself to put the cell phone down. Distracted driving is going to be a big contributor to that. To even talking on the phone, right? I know we all do it, but having a quiet time to drive from one spot to the next is good for the soul and for the mind, right? So be more intentional with what we're doing, and that goes for just as much as the police as anybody else. So we can get caught up in what we're doing and not be paying attention. So.
Nothing like a nice Sunday drive.
Right. And we are right there near the Red Arroyo, and just the other day somebody wasn't paying attention walking through a crosswalk and got real close to hit my wife. So
Wow.
it can happen, and we know we're human beings, but that's what. So since we know we're human, let's be intentional about it. Think in advance that there's going to be more people out here. There's crosswalks. What do I do in a crosswalk? If you imprint that into your mind, then you'll be able to react appropriately when you start approaching those intersections.
Hey, it could happen to anyone. Almost happened to the chief of police and his wife. Could happen to the person that lives on Main Street.
Right. Yep. So just be aware.
Turning our attention a little further north for a moment. So over the past couple of weeks, the Abilene Police Department has been reporting that they've been finding card skimmers. The first two were at a couple of Allsup's gas stations. There was another one found at a grocery store. And just today, APD said that officers have been alerted to approximately 10 of these card skimmers across the key city. Now, while nothing has been reported in San Angelo, last week SAPD did put out an alert just reminding residents, hey, these are some things to look out for that maybe will let you know that there was a card skimmer at a device. What do you want people to know about this? Because maybe it seems kind of obvious, but if you don't see one of these card skimmers, all your info could be gone like that.
Right. And so anytime we see one that this is this close to us, and Abilene's just 100 miles down the road, could very easily be us next, or so to be aware. If we can limit the amount of people that are victimized and things like that, is just through education. And so when you look at be aware of your surroundings, right? Look at what you're scanning. See if it looks off. Look at the other. If you're at a grocery store, look at what other things are. If you're at the Allsup's like that, there's usually two different places you can check out, or other pumps that are close by. See if things look different, right? Just glancing over and taking a look, and it can help. Look for things that they can pop over, anything that they can add on. Maybe kind of, I'm not saying break anything, of course, but you get in there and kind of mess with what you're about to scan your card with, and see if it feels kind of janky, because that's what it will be something that pops over. They usually will make those through a 3D printer, based off the specs of whatever device that they are going to try to put it on, and sometimes they look hard to tell. But as soon as you put a little closer eye to it, taking that extra before you put, almost just like cash. Think about somebody trying to grab your cash, right? Before you put your card out there, make sure you're paying attention to what you're about to scan and see if it looks off.
And last but certainly not least, some good news. Let's look ahead to next Tuesday. National Night Out. Law enforcement agencies across the country will be holding events to get to know the people that officers have sworn to protect and serve a little bit better, build bridges, answer questions. SAPD has their event at the San Angelo Farmers Market from 5:30 to 8. What are you looking forward to next Tuesday evening?
Man, it's always an awesome time to get out. Number one, it's always going to be cooler, right? So we have cooler weather, right? And get to be able to see the officers. We'll have equipment out there, all the stuff we do. You'll be able to interact with everything from your regular line officer to supervisors, our armored vehicle. I mean, all sorts of stuff will be out there. It's a great time for the family. It's Tuesday. You can break up the monotony of the week to come out and come see us. It's a wonderful time, and we're going to have lots of cool things to do, and we hope everybody comes out.
See, my mind immediately goes to, this is a great opportunity for, the men and women of San Angelo to meet the officers. Mm-hmm. Hey, Chief, I've lived on this street. Here's a problem. What can I do?
Yep.
Or just as simple as, hey, nice to meet you. I'm new to town. Happy to meet the Chief of Police.
That works too.
This seems like a great opportunity also to get to know the kids in the community. Show the kids that officers are men and women just like their parents or guardians. And maybe even you tweak that interest in a kid a little bit that says, at least I want to know more about being a police officer.
For sure. And I think the more that you see them on TV or you have an idea of watching them on the internet or whatever, but when you get up there and get to actually have a conversation with the real police officer and find out what they do and that you see that they're human beings and that we do have it is a really exciting job, but we also deal with a lot of things, and so finding out what we do and how we do it and why we do it, and those things all matter. And I think it's a great chance for young ones to come out and take a look at what the future might hold for them.
Hey, and the team at Fox West Texas will also be out there. We'll have a table. Make sure you say hello, and I will be making sure to say hi to you, Chief.
Yeah, we're always looking forward to that, and it's going to be a great night.
Any final words of wisdom on this Thursday?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of times we talk about the word love. I think that love is patient and love is kind and love is long-suffering, right? So when we're really trying to love others out there in the community, have more patience, take a little bit more time, and realize that life's short. Enjoy what we got.
Nice message right there, Chief. All right, as always, San Angelo Police Chief Travis Griffith. Chief, thank you for being here.
Thank you so much, man.
All right, that'll do it for Believe It or Not, episode 25 of our VCast series Chat with the Chief. Nice. I'm Burt Sempier. We'll see you back here next time.